Now if we have this okay looking building, but we actually want it to be a little more variety in this. One important thing to know is when you close the Facade editor, we have here the one unconnected node. When we close it down and reopen it, the unconnected node is removed. So it's not like in the material editor that it saves everything inside the editor. It destroys everything inside the editor that's not connected. So make sure before closing down that everything you need is connected, otherwise you will lose a lot of work. And the next step is, let's take a look at the comment. This is pretty useless because we cannot we can put in a comment, but unlike in the material editor where you can drag the comment box and everything inside the comment box will move with it, that's not in this case. So it's pretty useless. We can change colors and make it look funny, but we don't need that. Then we have a corner rule, which is really useful for buildings. What this does is we connect it to the input and the main. This is our main building right now. We connect it and then we click apply, and then there's a huge gap and it's looking weird. Let's just pull this out a little so we can see it a little better. So this is happening because we have a corner size here of 256. We don't need a corner size of 256. Actually, if we put it at 0, it will look like it did before. And now we can put a little corner piece here, or if you have a bigger corner piece, like I have a corner piece of let's see, 2 units. I've put it in a name, and 2 units, it's bigger than 2 units, but that means I need to offset it here 2 units to make it look right. And we put in the mesh. And now we have this corner piece. We need to have it at the right size, of course. So this is 192, 160. I mean, maybe what was it, 16 or? So now we see that it gets stretched to the exact height we want. And we can repeat it in the Z direction to make sure it repeats itself every 160 units. So here we put in 160 and we put apply. And let's see. This needs to be the same size as the corner. Here we have it. Our corner pieces. It's really ugly modeling, but that's not the point of this video. So now we generated our building. Really simple rule set. Really simple. We will go into the next thing. Cycle. Cycle is a nice rule. What this does is it just cycles through the amount of steps, so we can say 10 steps and it cycles through. If it reaches the end, it will start over. And the remainder is actually when you use a fixed size. That means normally it scales the model, so it takes the repeat size, but if it's a little bit bigger or smaller, it's okay. It will just scale it a little. But if I put in 32 and at the end of these 10 steps, it's let's say not 320 but 321, and we have fixed size on, it will use the remainder to fill up the remaining units. And that's really useful for yeah, maybe a lot of different windows behind each other, or yeah, something like that. I don't know. So let's throw that away. Edge, angle, and edge mesh are useless. I have no idea when they come in handy. Top bottom is useful for buildings. What this does is it will look at the top of the procedural building, the middle, and the bottom. And here we have the middle connected, because this is what we want in the middle. And if we 160, and if we look at this, I have a different mesh for the bottom, so let's put it in mesh C160 92 or 96, whatever, 96, and put that in the bottom. We will see that the bottom is will become this mesh here. So if we look at lit mode, we can see here we have now a different bottom, and we can add maybe doors in here, and maybe you have a before the roof levels you have like different type of windows, and then you can add it to the top. And not top and not bottom means you have a more complex rule set and or a more complex volume. And let's say we have a building that goes a little lower than this, or maybe we subtracted a hole out of this, then we would have the not bottom would be in the where it's the bottom, but not really the bottom of the volume, but the bottom of a wall. And the same goes for not top. It's the top of a scope, but not the top of the volume. and bottom is always the bottom of the volume, no matter what other scopes are in the way. So let's place. Let's see what we have. There's one issue here. I see that the corner piece doesn't go on here, and that's because the corner piece is only applied to the middle. And now my corner piece is made for all these pieces, so what I can do is just put this corner piece in here and then put the middle right. Let's see. Middle is right there, and repeat size is here. Let's fix it a little. Okay, so right now it should work. Let's see if it does. Yeah. So now the corner piece is applied and main is everything, and the corner piece is on the entire building. So that's the real basic creation of a procedural building.